10-0 on the year. At the beginning of the year, did you think you'd be 10-0 at this time?
I thought that we'd be competitive in every game that we played. Obviously, you don't try to look too ahead to wins and losses, but for the most part, we're playing about where I thought we would play as far as our competition level and stuff like that. So, of course, I think our kids feel like they should win every game they step on the floor with. So I think they're right where they think they should be.
Confidence does wonders, though, doesn't it, when you go into a game knowing you're going to win instead of maybe thinking you're going to win. Big difference.
Yes, I would say that right now our kids are riding a lot of that confidence. They've played well. We've had different kids that have stepped up. So I think that they're not just confident in themselves, but their confidence in their teammates is probably the thing that's kind of carrying us over right now.
What's your team need to work on the next couple of weeks?
Well, we definitely are going to have to make our defense more two-dimensional. Right now, we've been playing about the same defense all year long, and as teams start to scout you and they start to get a little bit more film on you and we start to become a little bit more predictable, we're going to work on putting a few wrinkles into our defense. We also need to do a better job of keeping spacing at the offensive end. We've gotten into some bad habits here the last couple games as far as our spacing, so we've added a few little things in to try to help that out a little bit, but for the most part, it's just the fundamentals that we work on every single day. It's rebounding, getting deflections, and shooting the basketball.
A lot of times your defense is your offense.
Exactly. We score a lot off of our defense right now, and I think that's a credit to our entire team because we bring so many kids off the bench. We've been playing a 10-man rotation here the last couple games, so when you bring those fresh bodies in constantly, we just constantly keep pressure on the other team, and hopefully we can get a lot of runouts out of that.
No matter who you play, you seem to have 2 or 3 people on the floor at once that people have to look out for because they can score. That makes it easier, doesn't it?
It definitely does. With our spacing, we also try to space it because we have so many kids that have worked so hard to make themselves an offensive threat. So pretty much every kid that steps on the floor for us at some point or another has the opportunity to score, whether it be inside, outside. They've got a good skill set, and we're confident in all those kids that we bring in.
And when you do have patience, you love that backdoor cut, don't you?
Exactly. Our kids do a really good job. They've played a lot of basketball together, and to their credit, they've worked really hard to get where they're at, and they read each other real well. They have a pretty high basketball IQ right now, so I think that definitely helps.
Varsity tournament. Tough tournament every year. You're going to be tested, maybe not from game 1, but after that, you'll be tested every time you play it.
Yes. Our kids are looking forward to the Marceline tournament because we know that tournament is loaded. Every team that's in there has the capability of coming away with a win on any given night, and that's one thing that we have stressed over and over again is high school basketball is all about playing well on that night, and anything can happen on any given night, and our kids are looking forward to the test. They're hoping for some good competitive basketball games. We haven't had, we've kind of had some lopsided wins here in the last 3 or 4 wins, so a good close game is definitely what our kids are looking forward to.
You know how your kids respond to wins, because you've done that 10 times this year. It will be interesting to see how they respond to a loss.
Exactly, because I think that's when your true character of your team comes out, and I'm anxious to see when a little adversity strikes for us, how our kids respond. So far, we've had a couple games where we've had some adversity, and our kids have done a good job of working through that, but we definitely need to see once it goes for about 4 or 5 minutes of a tough span, how our kids can respond to that.
Have you seen improvement every game?
I have in spurts. I feel like in the last couple games we've had some letdowns as far as like 2 or 3 minutes here and there, and that's one thing that our kids, a credit to them, they're so competitive that they realize that we had a couple games there we didn't play good for 32 straight minutes. We maybe had a 20-minute span where we played pretty well, and then 8 or 9 minutes of just kind of flat basketball. So they want to clean that stuff up, and they are doing everything in their power to play 32 straight minutes.
Does that help a little bit when you substitute the way you do? Just to go, you're not getting it done, guys. We're bringing somebody else in.
Yeah, and that's the good thing, and I think that they've responded well to that. They understand that sometimes you don't come out of the game simply because you've made a mistake. You come out of the game just so that you can get a rest, and the next guy can give us a little bit different look, whether it be defensively or offensively. It allows for us to, without changing our defense, it changes our defensive look quite a bit. So the kids understand that, and they have done a really good job of coming in. I can honestly say there haven't been too many times I've actually pulled somebody because they've made a mistake. It's been more of the next kid is ready to go, and you need a little bit of a break.
Long road trip to this conference. so far so good on that, but it's a lot of these long bus rides in the cold winter. You got to be ready when you get on that bus, don't you?
Exactly, and that's one good thing about the Marceline tournament coming up here is we'll have 3 games this coming week that we'll have to travel, not a great distance, but a long enough distance that you've got to work the bus out of you a little bit when you get onto the floor. And this cold weather, and sometimes the thing that's difficult about that is not knowing whether or not you're going to play on any given day because the weather may step in there. So being game ready day in, day out is going to be a good test for us.